Hi there. Just waiting for the display to update so that I can see myself on screen. Hopefully you can see me and hear me okay. We're just going to do another one of those Q&A streams where I answer questions from both Twitter and not sponsorships, it says sponsorships up there, which caught me off guard, and Super Chat. Although you can now do the sponsorship thing on my channel. Maybe you've seen it on other people who do the YouTube live thing, but it's like subscribing on Twitch. Yeah, YouTube live. It's in beta, I guess, but you get a little badge in chat from what I'm aware of. We'll see. The first person who does it, I guess they can demo it for everyone, and we'll see what the badge thing looks like when it happens. Anywho, since we just queued up, it's going to take a moment before any of the questions start to roll in. But if you have them, feel free to tweet them to me on Twitter, and I'll read those. Again, you don't need to do the super chat thing. If you want to do the super chat thing, that's cool. But you can also tweet me, and that's fine too. But yeah, okay. Oh, hey, some tweets are coming in. Hey, congratulations. Hold on, let's take a minute. Zuni Shepherd, congratulations on being the very first ever sponsor to my YouTube channel. Congratulations. And Angel Pagan as well. You're number 2. But you're both equivalent in my heart. Not like you want to use number 1 in my heart and the other is number 2. But the first and second sponsors ever. Brandon also. Number 3, thank you very much. And Jeremy with the booyah right there. All right, anyway, let's check out some questions real quick. What's the news on the Ford GT? Wait, have I done a stream since being asked about since the update on the Ford GT? I can't remember if it happened after or before. Also, thank you, Technology Guy, for the new sponsor as well. Very much appreciated. Anyway, it's because I can't remember, I'll just reiterate where we're at right now on the Ford GT, which is that I did get a call from them on May 31st, the final day of May. They said that they were going to get to me before the end of May, and lo and behold, they did. I asked them about doing a special carbon weave translucent paint job. They're going to get back to me on that, but I should also be receiving the box that I can then make a video unboxing that has like paint swatches for the stock paint colors, interior samples, wheel samples, things like that. And so that is where we're at the moment. It pretty cool. Casey, thank you. Hi there. How's it going? Jake with another sponsor, Fruitch Graphics. Thank you for the sponsor as well. Lots of Josh, Fred, new sponsor. All right, here come. Oh, hey, I see it in the chat now. That's pretty cool. It's showing up when the people who have it type in the chat, and how nifty. I wonder if is there a way to do like a sponsor? Only sponsors may send messages. So that is actually an option. Huh? What do you know? I know that's a lot of people who don't have that are gonna be like, no, how dare you? Don't do that. But it's cool. Once we have been doing this for maybe a few more and more people are doing the sponsor thing, then it allows for actually a much more controlled, less hectic main chat where I could actually read questions out of the main chat versus having to rely on like the super chat and things like that. Anyway, we're good. We're good for now. I'll just do what I'm doing. I'm not going to change it, but I appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Cap Killer. And Shadowverse, I appreciate the kind words. Very much appreciated. Let's see. What does Haha Potatoes demo badge? I don't know what demo badge means, but which states have you not visited yet? That's a list that's far too long to list off. The better question is what states have I visited, and then you can go from there as to which I haven't, which are like, okay, I've been in like Oregon, Washington. I'm trying to start west, go east. Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Idaho. I think I was in Colorado when I was really, really young, but I don't really remember it. I've been to Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Washington, D.C., New York, Florida, Georgia. I think that covers it. My travel is not exceedingly extensive, even within the United States. Curtis, love back. Thank you so much. TT Games, show us your clones in the basement. I can't do that. They're in the basement for a reason. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, now that we're caught up there, let's check out some more. Questions on the Twitter. What do we have? What is your favorite activity? It's a good question. I do enjoy going for drives. I know back to the whole car thing. Thank you, OkCuber, for the sponsor. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I do like going for drives. Sounds weird. It's not like a physical activity or anything of the sort, like a sport. I mean, well, driving is a sport because there are, yeah. But I do enjoy doing that. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Jasper, for the sponsor as well. So we'll go with driving. That was a question from Twitter. Let's see. Kiana says, "Hi, Jordan. Do you get road rage often?" I have like gotten angry in the car. I've never gotten so angry to the extent that I have exited the vehicle and proceeded to attempt to have a physical confrontation with someone. So road rage in the sense of getting angry, sure. I think everyone's gotten angry in the car. It's just a matter of, restraining yourself so that you don't actually go and hit someone is all. I've never actually been in a fight before. And probably I would like to think it'll continue that way for most of my life, but I guess you'd never know. I will at least never be the one to initiate the fight. I can say that. But I suppose if I had to defend myself, I'd have to try to defend myself, and hopefully it's not someone who's 50 times my size, because I'm not the biggest. Although, I will say, I'm very dense. I'm very heavy for my size. And Aiden, I appreciate the kind words. Because I'm like 165. I fluctuate between like 165, 170, and I'm 5'7", which if you put those numbers into a BMI calculator, which BMI is stupid, but anyway, if you put those numbers into a BMI calculator, it says that I'm like obese. When I can assure you I'm not obese. But again, that calculation yields that result. So anyway, but maybe I can hold my own if I had to defend myself. Again, unless they were like massive, in which case it'd be a problem. Alex, what is the status for Trollcraft in the future? I'd love to see with other YouTubers, new group challenges, etc. Honestly, it has not been further discussed as of now. So yeah, dude, I don't know. I couldn't really give you an update because we haven't talked about it, but you'll be the first to know if there is a new series on the horizon. Fruitch Graphics, have you talked to Finn's Graphics about any artwork since they created your Hunger Games thumbnail overlay? No, I have not. Usually I make my own thumbnails myself for the most part, and there hasn't been an occasion to outsource thumbnail work for quite some time now. So, yeah. Let's see, Mr. Frosty. Thank you for the sponsor. Very much appreciated. Let's see. Ben Aaron asks, would you ever consider going back to school? That is going to be a no, even though I'm going to be going back to school next Wednesday. Actually, I'm going to be judging a final presentation for a media class, a graduate school class at UCLA. And it's funny because the presentation is very appropriate as to, I guess, why I was invited to be there. It's formulating a plan for launching a YouTube channel, interestingly enough. And so I'll be helping grade, I suppose. No pressure. A lot of the kids in the class are actually older than me. So anyway, it's interesting. So I am going back to school next week. But as far as what your real question is, would I ever actually go and attend classes? No, I would prefer not to, honestly. Frankie, when are you getting the GT? I certainly hope before the end of the year, but I am in the process now, and I updated on it earlier on, so I don't want to repeat myself, but you can go back to the earlier part of the stream, and yeah. Levi, appreciate the kind words. CaptainSparklez, thank you for the sponsor. Much appreciated. Jesse, what was the most infuriating game you played? And shout out to my little brother, Caleb. Most infuriating game I've ever played. I don't think I've ever gotten more mad playing games than playing Call of Duty. I'm trying to think if there was like one single play session of another game that was like maybe a smaller game that I just got really mad at playing once. But overall, I've had far more rage incidents at Call of Duty, all the Call of Duties I've played than any other. And I've thrown controllers a few times. I've never broken a controller, but I've thrown them a few times and slammed mice on desks. So that has very much happened. Okay, anyway, we're at the... Hunter, appreciate the contribution. Very much appreciated. But I guess questions back on the tweeters now. I'll try to hit one up there. What do we got? Let's see. Sorry. As I was looking for one on Twitter, we got another one in Super Chat popping up. Anarkin, how did you get started producing EDM? Was it easy or an acquired talent? I'm an aspiring artist, and I love to hear tips. I played the piano roll. I try to envision. So my workflow is I envision like a melody in my head usually, and I'll put that down like a main riff, and then I'll build around that, or I'll put down the bass line first, and then I'll build chords around that, and then I'll put a melody on top. It could go either of those two ways. If I'm just like sitting and I'm like, I want to make a new song, then I'll start with a bass line, but sometimes I'll hear something that I want to execute, and then it's just a matter of hunting and pecking, and it's like, oh, does that sound like what I was envisioning? Yep, okay, cool. So that's kind of intrinsic as long as you know the layout of the software and just type that into the piano roll. Otherwise, I've watched a few tutorials on various plugins that I use regularly, so yeah, it's a little bit of just being good at hearing, which doesn't seem, I guess, I don't know. It doesn't seem difficult for me, at least, and I don't know if it varies from person to person to hear a melody and then be able to just put that into the piano roll. It's fairly simple. You just say, oh, does that note sound right? No? Okay, let's try another now. Oh, does that sound right? Yeah, okay, cool. So you can trial and error it, and you should be able to get it done. So yeah, that's it, pretty much. Okay, and now we got a lot of things rolling in here. Cage Overman, or no, Levi White, My Night Season 3. Yep, I would not get your hopes up is the answer to that, as usual. Cage Overman, what's the best possible car mod? What is the best mod for a Murano? The best mod for a Murano, especially, well, is it a Murano drop top? Because the best mod for a Murano drop top is the check in your bank account that you got for selling it. But that's a highly subjective question as to what the best possible car mod is. I couldn't possibly answer it. I prefer to stick to cosmetic because I don't want to void warranties and possibly mess up engines. Other people love to modify engines and do stuff like that and tweak exhaust. And so I don't know. And I absolutely know nothing about modding Muranos except that in the shitty car mods subreddit, what that one looked like. So let's see. Veronic, would you talk to Kian and Zena into making a Mayanite-like series with Sunday and Craner? Doing a quote-unquote substitute, like Mayanite knockoff would just no one would watch it. And anyone who actually would want to watch that and not be upset with it, it would be such a minimal group, I feel like, and there would be far more anger, which would not justify the few people who would be interested in watching it. So no, it's just, I don't get your hopes up for Mayanite. But again, not my decision. Freewitch Graphics just brought Logic Pro for hip hop beats tips. I haven't done Logic in like 3 years, so not really. I mean, some of the plugins are the same, and I don't do hip hop at all, so I can't really give advice on hip hop stuff. Lots of sub bass. Just hammer on that sub bass and chain it with your kick and have your little rattling snares at the top. There you go, hip hop. Let's see. Web Zombie, do you prefer body weight or weighted exercises, and which ones? I do a combination. Yeah. I'm pretty good at body weight exercises, so sometimes I'll add additional weights and do like weighted pull-ups or weighted dips or weighted planks or weighted push-ups with weight on my back. Because I feel like I pride myself in being pretty good at body weight exercises because I can do like a couple one-arm pull-ups. In fact, I haven't tried to max those in a long time because it just ends up destroying my arm. Unfortunately, I have this issue where if I do too hard of a pull exercise, it messes me up. So even though I can do it, it then doesn't feel very good for many days after, which is a bummer. But yeah, anyway, combination of the two. Let's see. Fish contributed $1. Thank you very much. Let's see. Ari Farrell, I appreciate the kind words. Hunter Mead. Not a place for advertisement. I wish you the best with your YouTube stuff, though. And thanks for the contribution. Brian, Goku or Superman? Why would I get mad at you saying Goku? Okay, here's the deal. I say Goku for sure, but I know that like there are so many people who are like, no, Superman would like kick Goku's ass. I'm like, how though? Superman can't destroy planets. Like Superman can't. Okay, so people are going to argue, yeah, well, Superman can destroy planets. He could wipe out the civilization. But he can't just freaking put his hand up in the air and just fire a beam at the planet and blow it up. All right, Goku's more powerful. And then I know that there's the whole, like, whatever, but Superman is indestructible. We're going to get into this debate here on stream. Right? Superman is technically indestructible. Well, okay, he also has kryptonite as a weakness. So if Goku gets a hold of some kryptonite, he'll just shove that in Superman's face, make him freaking swallow it. Whereas Goku doesn't have a kryptonite. Needles. He doesn't like needles, but it doesn't. Needles don't actually have an intrinsically negative impact on him that makes him physically unable to do anything. So Goku for sure. I'm sorry. I back Goku 100%. Okay? Yeah. But whatever. Just people are saying One Punch Man in the chat. I haven't watched One Punch Man other than a few clips. I've been meaning to. I've heard it's good, but that's like a parody. It's like an anime parody of itself. So obviously, yeah, One Punch Man would win because it's by definition like what he does. But yeah. Anywho, okay, cool. It's Goku. J Vlogs, appreciate the kind words, man. Anarchin, any specific plugins you would suggest for FL Studio? Where do you find the synth space, etc., that you specifically enjoy the sound of? Let's see. Sorry, more messages were coming through. Native Instruments Complete, Sylenth. Those are some big ones that are like the Native Instruments Complete has so many plugins that you can almost just roll with that. And Sylenth is like an additional synth generator. I've been meaning to get Serum. That's another one that I've heard very good things about, but haven't tried myself. You can get preset packs that will. You can scroll through and see what you like sound-wise. You can make things from scratch. You can use the preset pack and then tweak it. Which is what I've often done, is like find something that's sort of along the lines of what you want it to sound like, and then you can tweak from there, which I know if there are any producers watching this who are purists, you're like, oh, you friggin' cheater, you don't start from scratch at all your stuff. But it is what it is, mate. It is what it is. Anyway, Haha Potatoes, thank you for the sponsor. Let's see. Oh, wait. Chris McKenna, what is your favorite Mama's Boy animation so far? Oh, that's a hard question. That's a real hard question. The It's Just a Prank one was pretty good. I was pretty stoked on the It's Just a Prank Bro animation that he did. Alex Davis, appreciate the contribution. Let's face it, everyone here loved My Night and Trollcraft. Do you want to do more Trollcraft? And if so, with whom? The issue is finding other people who can also be consistent to record with. And believe it or not, that is a very difficult thing to come by. Zine is obviously pretty consistent. In the beginning of Mionite, in the beginning of Trollcraft, the other people were consistent, but there's always a fall off. So it'd just be a matter of like finding other people who are motivated and consistent, and it's easier said than done. And then people you have chemistry with and that you know. So Yeah. But anyway, as far as what I want to do, I'm happy with where Sky Factory is right now. I don't want to like overload a bunch of series simultaneously, which is why I'm not pushing for other stuff at the moment. Once Sky Factory wraps, then we'll see where it goes. But right now, I think Sky Factory is pretty good. Let's see. Epic Sad Face Gaming BMG updated. You should play it. Also, Emily is away too. And let's see. Maybe do a Reddit thing on Totally Not Robots. I don't know if I've seen that one, but maybe I'll take a look at it. That subreddit, that is. And yeah, I've been meaning to check out BMG. So, faux show. I'm going to give that a look at some time soon. Angel, do you ever think you'll sell high top shoes? I have no idea. It's certainly not been something I've contemplated before, but now that you've mentioned it, I don't know. Wouldn't rule it out, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Anyway, okay, Fruch, my bad. Vlog with Tucker soon. I don't know. I feel like that's a fairly specific request, and generally, it's not like you hit someone up and you're like, hey, let's vlog together. At least that's not how I've gone about doing it. I'm sure in the more vlogger-centric community of YouTubers, they do that. Like, hey, let's get together so we can vlog together, and then let's figure out what we're actually doing, versus like, hey, let's go do something and then we'll vlog it, I suppose. I always feel weird about going and hitting someone up and being like, hey, you're interested in doing something, and then you go there and you like pull out a camera. I just don't do it. That's why most of the vlogs that I've done are me on my own, as opposed to with groups of other people, unless the groups of other people are like vlogging themselves, in which case it makes more sense. I just don't like to impose, is all. Monica, thank you. Appreciate the contribution. Caden, wow, that is extremely generous of you, wanting me to play more Bed Wars. I will probably do a Bed Wars stream at some point in the nearish future. Yeah, it'll probably be a live stream, because I feel like that's more of a good format for it, but very much appreciate it. CaptainSparklez, I would love to do a series with you. I very much appreciate the offer. It's usually I stick to the crew of people who I am familiar with, but still appreciate it nonetheless. And if you're looking to do YouTube, I'm sure there are plenty of other people who you get in contact with via like common interests on Twitter and stuff like that. Sorry, just taking a sip. Adam Plays MC, favorite Mine 52 map. Oh, geez. Let me think. I don't think I know enough of what they did off the top of my head. I know I've done plenty of them, but I just can't remember exactly which are them. Don't Take Damage was fun, but I off the top of my head, I'm not equipped to properly answer that question. Debbie Davis, you should play Ark again. Maybe at some point. I can't make any promises, because I feel like that's a game that not a lot of people who are here on this channel are going to be interested in watching, because it didn't have like too much interest the time that I did play it in the past. But yeah. Anyway, name 1089 Reborn will very much appreciated. I've never had a cup of coffee in my life, but maybe I'll have a very sugary like frappuccino or something. But glad that you enjoy the videos. Little guy. Okay, would you rather be forced to say "m'lady" every time you address a woman, or yell "I'm an atheist" as loud as possible every time someone says "God bless you"? I feel like I'd go for the "I'm an atheist," because I don't think I hear people say "God bless you" to me very regularly. Because usually if I am sneezing in a public area or in an area where other people are around, generally that's not even the response. And even then, I don't feel like I sneeze too often in an area where there are other people in a way that merits that response. So I'd go with that one, because I am forced to speak to women who are 50% of the population a lot more regularly than the other one. So it'd be extremely awkward to have to say "milady" when I'm talking to 50% of the population of the world. So, yeah, I'll go with I'm an atheist one. Let's see. Sergeant Davis, possible modded survival, please. That's what Sky Factory is. This modded survival. Yeah. I've done a lot of solo modded survival series. That's why we do multiplayer stuff now. Pulcra. I'm sure you remember the video you did on the resource pack. Pulcra Pure PBR. Do you plan on doing a new one? Do I remember doing a video on Pulcra Pure PBR? I'm so sorry. It's not actually. I don't know for sure. I mean, I appreciate the contribution. No, I don't have any plans for like a resource pack overview video on the agenda. But yeah, because I haven't played with resource packs in quite some time, unless it's something that comes with the map itself. But yeah. Anywho, appreciate the contribution. Adam Plays MC, you have made about 17 maps with them. Wow. Try Spleef 52. Perhaps if we stumble upon it, it may happen. And that was, Adam Plays MC. It was 17 maps with the Mine 52 team. Seabear 2000, watch any DC TV shows? Admittedly, I have not. Let me think. Have I watched it? No. No, I haven't, actually. I've been all Marvel on Netflix. Yeah. All the DC shows are like CW, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know if those are online anywhere. Are any of those on Netflix or Amazon? Because that's really where I consume all my content. I don't actually watch like cable TV at all, ever. And they probably are if I looked it up. But in any case, let's see. Silver Sky, is there a chance we can get some feedback from you sometime? It's not really like this place isn't a place to like advertise and check out videos and stuff. But I don't know if you made something super exceptional and you tweet it to me and I do catch it. It's hard to commit fully, but yeah, you could try to tweet me something. I just generally, for advice on YouTube videos, just enjoy yourself. Try to have good equipment that sounds good, and you are clearly enunciating your words, and try to make it enjoyable. And that's pretty much it. I feel like you can pretty reasonably critically evaluate yourself if you compare your own content to other people out there who have audiences who enjoy their content. So, yeah, I would say try to just be self-critical, and ask yourself honestly, do you think your stuff is as enjoyable to watch? And you could also just go to friends who watch YouTube videos as well, because their advice is just as helpful. In fact, probably more, because I probably don't watch nearly as much YouTube as other friends of yours do, so I wouldn't be as familiar. Yeah, anyway, let's see. I am Lewis. Start playing COD again. Maybe I'll stream it at some point. I can't make any promises, but yeah, it's been quite some time. Joseph, have you played the Ratchet & Clank PS4 reboot? I have actually never played Ratchet & Clank ever, so that includes the PS4 reboot. Yeah, but that's cool that Ratchet & Clank was your favorite game, and appreciate the contribution as well. Samuel with the how is the 4GT question, which I answered at the very beginning of the stream, but I'm in the order process waiting on the box. Let's see. CaptainSparklez have to go to sleep because work in the morning, but yeah, thank you very much for joining the stream. Runeball hitting the political. What are your thoughts on the Paris Accord agreement? I could go on long rants about political related things, but I feel like for my sanity, I'm gonna avoid it as much as I am passionate about the topic. I know that I'm gonna end up with just a lot of things that are going to make me want to just do this from like it just in the chat, and it'll frustrate me, and I'll want to reply to every counterpoint that is provided by someone else, and then it'll end up not being a good situation. And other people will just be mad at me, and they'll be like, I disagree with you, and I don't want to do it. I just stay away from politics. I just do. Yep. So yep. Anyway, yeah, just talking politics is never a good call, unless you are a channel that is political, in which case that is your thing. But if you're not a political channel, then it's just my stance is to not be political is all. Let's see. I mean, that said, outside of YouTube, when I'm talking with people in private, I get very political. Let's see. Andrew with another political question. Where are people going? Okay, so here's the deal. Happy birthday to you. I'm just anything that can be interpreted as remotely political at all, even if it's in the super chat, I'm not going to go into it. Yeah. Even if the answer that you are looking for is like, even if my stance is exactly the answer that you would be looking for, I'm just, we're just not doing politics is all. Even though, yes, obviously I have passionate stances on many issues, but yes, I just stay away from the sheet. Okie dokie. Although what I will, here's the one thing that I will say interests me so much about people's reactions to politics, and I'm going to be speaking in general terms here. It is that, because this happens on both sides of the equation, no matter what side you're on of stuff, it's that it's so interesting to me that when such and such person does it, there is no distinction between like the person. If you support a person, it feels like it is very rare that you will see people criticizing individual actions of said person. Nobody is perfect. No matter what candidate, what side of the aisle, it's very possible to disagree with various elements or actions that person has done while still supporting, okay, in general, yes, they have made the right decisions on things. Versus what seems to commonly be the mentality of people when it comes to politics is that if this is your candidate, this is your elected official, and you support them, then no matter their action, you have to follow it and support it. Whereas maybe if the other person did the same thing, you'd be like, that's horrible, that's awful. They're a terrible person. So I find that to be very interesting. I feel like I would love to see more people picking and choosing what they support and what they don't in the same person. You're free to admit that such and such decision by this elected official wasn't good, but I still support their overall vision. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it. And nope, that is referring to both sides of the aisle equally, no matter what side you're on. So, anywho, that's it for my political rant. And I tried to say that again in such a way that it remained neutral and applying to both sides individually. But what I do find very interesting is that you can have outside of politics things that like an entire group of people will like unite against, like United Airlines or the Pepsi thing. It's like literally everyone unites against that. But when it comes to politics, it's like no matter what it is, you never get that sort of full-on united like support or dislike for, which I find very interesting again. So yeah, that's all. So anywho, I just went on that long rant, and I feel like I got really behind on questions and all of that stuff. So let's see. Let's try to catch up on things. Let's see. Where were we? Every time I go back into the chat, it like scrolls me down, and I have to scroll back up and find my way around. Tony DeBren, hey, any new games you have an interest in playing in the near future? You've been sticking to good games, but hardly stray from the norm. Yeah, I don't know. As far as like new games that I have never played before, yeah, I don't really have anything on the agenda. But again, like BeamNG, I did want to revisit that and take a look at it and things like that. I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't want to also just look at other channels and see what they're playing and do the same games that they're playing. And I am bad at actually going out and searching and finding games myself. But yeah. Anyway, let's see. Silver Skies says, oh, feedback on music. Same sort of applies, I suppose, with like if you link it on Twitter. I'm probably not a good person to give feedback on music though, because I'm not like an expert. In fact, I'm probably the worst person, I think, to give feedback on music, because I'm not a production expert, which means that my feedback in like telling you from a production standpoint what to do as far as like instrumentation sounds and your EQ and your compression and all of those things, I'm not going to give you the best advice. But I also think of things more from a producer side, which means I'm going to be bad at critiquing from just a listener perspective. So I'm in this little area where I'm probably the most garbage person you can ask about music feedback. I can be like, yeah, it sounds pretty good, but I can't go into enough detail about the production side. And I also am letting my production experience impact what I think when I'm listening to the song, because I'm thinking, oh, how was that actually made, versus just enjoying it, listening it to enjoy. So, yeah, I'm probably really bad at critiquing stuff. Anyway, Austin Brown, will Pixelmon ever come back with Craner and Sunday? I have no idea, honestly. I'd be open to it, but yeah. Angel Pagan, thanks for the contribution. I should try to do Bed Wars 1v1s against Craner, Sunday, Z, and Amber, Thea, if possible. I know they're doing their little like couples challenges things. So yeah, I don't have a person to bring in to complete that. But they're doing their thing. I have not been invited, and I don't like to invite myself into stuff. So yeah. Let's see, IPA, I don't know how to pronounce your name exactly. I apologize. You do not have to pay. It's just that because this is here and enough people are doing it that it's occupying my ability. It's going faster than I can answer the questions. It makes it hard to get to Twitter. So yeah, it's not the intent. But anyway. Are you into motorsports industry? I mean, I enjoy cars, but I'm not like in any professional or amateur racing leagues or anything of the sort. So no, not in any official capacity am I in the motorsports industry. I just am an enthusiast who enjoys vehicles. Cody Davis, you should play Ark Survival. You are the second person to request that so far, but yeah, yep. Or were you the one who requested it earlier and in past streams? I hear you. I appreciate the contributions and that you want Ark and stuff. I can't make any promises, though. Dr. Blanket. Oh, God. I have an important question. Do you know the physics of hill climbs in trials? Because if not, that's fine. But if you do and you suck anyway, it hurts my soul. Yeah, sorry. I know that you want both wheels down. I'm very aware. I'm just bad at feathering the throttle enough to keep them both down. I know what I want. I'm just bad at actually making it happen is all. Yep. Sorry for frustrating you. Randomized Jacob, do you plan on doing anything with Markiplier again? Yeah, I think I answered that last time, but he asked me to partake in a serious thing that he may or may not be doing at some point. One sec. There we go. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I was just tending to something in the chat. Yeah, but whenever he says that's filming, then I'll join. Jason Neves, thank you for the sponsor. Very much appreciated. Hold on one sec. Just trying to tend to a couple things, namely spam in the chat. Let's see. Silver Nine Tails, writing a murder mystery. Any ideas for motives? Oh, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't think that me coming up with a premise in 10 seconds is going to be the best source of motive for a book. I'm trying to think. I mean, the common ones would be like a jilted lover. Like I don't know, man. Like the dude, he cheated on her, or she cheated on him, and then murder happened. That seems to be a pretty common way to do it. So yeah, let's see. We can go with that. Eli Duncan. Let's see. Again, kind of slightly political. Do you think? What's your comparison between Trump memes and Obama memes? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an expert in the meme economy and which I would invest in. So I'm gonna avoid going into that stuff. COD Gameplay Channel. What are we talking about? Currently, you. Because you asked and made the contribution. Josh Fade, please accept X7 Albert Skate 3. You worked with him in Machinima Sports. I've not heard anything other than maybe did you ask me about this last time? I don't know. I don't know if I have been reached out to about doing something or what it is. Let's see. We have another Would You Rather from Little Guy. I like these. These are funny. Would you rather be allowed to copy, paste in real life or undo? Probably undo for sure. Well, it depends. Is undo like being able to time travel back in time? Because if I could undo my lottery ticket number selection and keep, and then know what the right ones are, I'd definitely go with that. So yeah, let's see, and then suggestions for some subreddits. I actually have some of those on my list of potential ones. So yeah, but I appreciate the recommendations. Analog Raven, appreciate the contribution. I'm doing pretty well today, man. Pretty well. Elijah, thanks for the sponsor. Caleb, thanks for the contribution. Runeball. So no politics. I'm sorry that was your main point of interest, but how would you deal with the death of your parents from politics to just sad questions? All right. How would you deal with the death of your parents when you can do nothing at all? I mean, eventually they are going to die. So am I. I'm going to die, hopefully from old age, and same hopefully for them. And there's nothing I can do about that. Every day we are slowly dying, and I guess until CRISPR allows people to be immortal or something of the sort, that's still going to be the case. So really, that's already happening, and there is nothing I can do about it. And I'm living, so I think we kind of all are. Yeah. IPA, make a Discord ever. I don't know. It hasn't been on my to-do list. Who knows if I'll ever do it in the future? But yeah. Justin Spittler, who is your favorite singer/actor? And appreciate the contribution. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like it's excuse me, burps. I ate before this. That's one thing I just have not thought about quite enough to have an answer for you there. I guess I feel like usually I am more over just looking at the work as a whole versus the individual components, which is probably, a mistake. But I'm like, oh, I enjoy such movie or such song versus, oh, this is the singer that I like, or this is the actor that I like. And especially when it comes to music, I listen more so for producers, and because in like electronic music and trance, The singer is almost more of just like an additional instrument layer versus being the selling point of the song. Like, let's take Katy Perry, for example, right? It'll be, when you look for a Katy Perry song, it'll be like Katy Perry, California Girls. That's one she sang, right? But there was a producer behind that, but the producer's nowhere to be found. Ultimately, Katy Perry just did the vocals for the song. Yes, she is the selling point, and that's why people are buying the song. But you don't get the producer credits unless you go like look up the song, and all of the credits for it. But it's not in the title for anything. Whereas in electronic music, it's the producer who gets the credit, and then the singer just gets a feature, generally. And I like that personally, because the music to me is the more important part. Granted, like vocals, I do want vocals to sound good, but it's more about the producer. And so that's why I guess I have a hard time coming up with like a favorite singer. And same with actor. I just never thought about that one. There are some pretty good actors out there, though. I'm trying to think. Let's say Kevin Spacey comes to mind. Kevin Spacey is pretty masterful. So that'd be, if you want an answer to at least half of your question, we can go with Kevin Spacey. Let's see, Lazitz Games. We get a peek at any music coming up. I do have a piece with Try Hard Ninja that is in the works. It's just awaiting final vocals, and then I can sort of, finalize the thing. But I don't want to share that just because it has him in it, and be for a music video. But I'm trying to think if there's anything that you haven't heard. I'll bring up something. It might be something I've shared in the past, but why not? Let's just snag some stuff real quick. Sorry, and in the meantime, while FL is loading, there it goes. Loaded. Let me just snag. Where is it? Very easy. This thing. There we go. Wait for that to load. And in the meantime, big fan for 8 years. Drew, big fan for 8 years. Basically an old man now. I've not been going for 8 years, so it hasn't been that long. But that's crazy that you've been around for quite some time. Are you thinking of live streaming or making another long Let's Play anytime soon? Currently, it's Sky Factory. As far as live streams, I feel like I don't have any live streaming series planned to just be like sort of one-off things. And that's where we're at. Here, let's see. Let me try to think like what part of this would be worth showing. I shared part of this on Twitter. I hope this doesn't get too loud. Let's see. Here we go. I'll just share a little bit of this. Okay, I don't want to share too much. That's like kind of a lead up. That's more of like a verse area. This is a one drop song. And then this is, I don't really have a build at the moment. I need to do that, but this is like where it drops. Cool. There you go. Don't want to share too much, but that is that for some stuff. Anywho, but that's like work in progress. Okie dokie. And that, again, for anyone who just jumped in at that point, that's my music. Yeah. Okie dokie. Here we go. Where are you at? Do you get tired of YouTube? If no, what motivates you? I mean, there are obviously days where I'm like, not really feeling it. I think everyone gets that no matter what they're doing. But the fact that I can kind of just be creative and do what I want on my schedule is, I don't think there's anything I'd rather be doing. So overall, no, I don't really get tired of it. And I have other projects to keep me interested, like the music stuff, like the vlog channel. Well, that's still YouTube, but it's different types of content, so it feels different. Let's see. I am Lewis. What warrants a follow back on Instagram? I only actually follow one person, so unless that changes, nothing really. And granted, if someone was like, I'll give you $1 billion, all you got to do is follow me on Instagram, I'd be like, okay, I'll follow you on Instagram. I'll take $1 billion. Let's not be crazy here, but just within reason. yeah, you know. Let's see, Sean, why don't you stream on Twitch anymore? Because I felt badly having like the the subscriber button so that's why I canceled the whole partnership thing, because I wasn't really streaming regularly and there were still people who were paying each month, and so I felt badly about that. And then I just felt like, most of my audience is here on YouTube for the most part, so like because I don't stream very regularly, Twitch is all about regularity. And when you don't have that, you're just not going to get people tuning into the stream. Whereas here it shows up in sub feed, which is what people who follow me are looking at. So it just made more sense. Anywho, and as far as recommending collaborations, I don't know. I don't impose on people and ask usually. Green Mohawk, would you ever with me? Fire Baby Animation Maker. I don't know what that means exactly. Patrick, your thoughts on the London Bridge incident? It is terrible, and any loss of life is awful. I don't know what else to say on that. Shitty people are shitty. That's about it, dude. I wish anyone involved the best, and hopefully nothing more to come. Anywho, let's see. KD9T911. Do you remember Escapecraft? I do. That was like one of the first Minecraft maps that I ever played. And it was good memories. I look back on that with some good nostalgia. Little guy, this is Would You Rather Man. All right. Would you rather sweat broccoli and cheddar soup? Okay. I don't even know what broccoli and cheddar soup is. Or every movie you watch slowly becomes Shrek halfway through. I'd probably choose the movies turning into Shrek, because I could live without movies, given that I don't even watch movies very often. But I think that sweating broccoli and cheddar could feasibly be a hindrance to many, many activities. So I'm going to choose movies turning into Shrek, because then I'd just not watch movies, I suppose. Also, to mod you on the CaptainSparklez subreddit, you need your username. It is CaptainSparklez, my man. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting so behind here. Master Griefs, little tip for Sky Factory. You can grab one item in the ME system with middle mouse click. Is a middle? Oh my God. Thank you, Master Griefs. I really appreciate that. That's you're a lifesaver, and I will still forget it, but thank you. Middle mouse click. Okay. I'm sure there have been a million comments on the episodes telling me every time that I'm like, how can I just grab one item? But yep. Okay. Metwin09, Kevin Spacey, best actor ever. He's a good actor. I'm glad you agree. Let's see, Leviathan Smith. Will there be Trollcraft 2? I do not know. Sorry, there have been a few people who've asked that so far in this stream. Caden, appreciate the contribution. I have not watched Community. Maybe I will at some point. I have so many shows in my queue that I have to watch at some point. Let's see. Would you rather Pokemon exist in the real world or Digimon exist in the real world? I never did anything with Digimon, so I'd have to go with Pokemon, I suppose, because I just don't know Digimon. Princess Sparkles, yo, what's up? I do recognize your name, having been in each and every stream. Thank you for showing up, and much love. Alif, do you have shirts? I do. If you go in the description, this was not scripted. But if you go in the description of the stream, there's a link to my Teespring page that has shirts, should you be interested. And I need to send the freaking email to make this shirt public. I'm so sorry. I need to do that. I will do that. Okay. Juan, what is your backup if you dies? Like jobs. Well, if I die, I don't really have to worry about getting a job, do I? Because I'll be dead. I assume you didn't mean that though, and you meant if YouTube is no longer viable. If YouTube was no longer viable, so it's more likely that would be a gradual thing that would not happen overnight. And if it's gradual, then like there's plenty of time to make adjustments and stuff. If the faucet stopped tomorrow and it's just like, you're done, you can't do none of your current income exists anymore, and you have to start over completely from scratch. Obviously, you have whatever you currently have, but income has stopped, which is a very unlikely scenario. I would probably just chill for a while, honestly. I'd work on music and just hang out. I mean, yeah, I would probably sell my house, sell cars, and then probably like buy a cheaper condo or something, so that it would be like pretty minimal living expenses every month. And then I would just cruise for a while and do what I wanted to do, travel, stuff like that. I would actually probably have a pretty good time anyway. Obviously I'd be stressed and I'd not be very happy not being productive, but yeah, it would not be the end of the world. I would make do. I like to think that I am someone who can do a good job at adjusting and acclimating to any situation that is presented, and also trying to avoid the worst situation from the get-go as it stands. So yeah, COD Gameplay Channel. If you want to get to 10 million faster, do Mionite. Well, not my kids. I can't just be like Mionite. I can't snap my fingers and make it happen. It's not me. I can't do that. That's great. I'm glad that would get me to 10 million faster, but I can't do anything about it. Speaking of which, if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, then feel free to subscribe, and we will get to 10 million quicker if you do that, is all. So that's the easiest way. Levi with the ARC question. It has chunged. It has chunged. I don't know. We got a couple very dedicated ARC people in here, man. I'm telling you. But still the answer is I am not totally sure. Alex, Barely Civil. I saw a driveway become a waterfall today. All right. Like a fire hydrant leak or something like that. Water main burst. Or just real rainy. Let's see. Juan with what's your opinion on Scion closed and new 86? I'm so sorry. I don't know what the question means, but I appreciate the contribution. Orange Penguin. Hi. Hello. Let's see. Drew. I suck at counting, but I know I've been here since 2 million. Okay. You've been here for quite some time though. Thank you very much. Do you ever have a PS1 or PS2? I had neither. So I can't really answer that question very well, but I did enjoy the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games early on. Little guy, what do you most regret posting or gave you the hardest time to decide to make? I feel like if I really regretted posting something, then I wouldn't post it, because I don't have to post anything, so I don't like have any regrets. And if I posted it and was happy and then regretted it later, I'd take it down. I haven't really taken down any videos that I wasn't like forced to take down, so I don't really have that. I like to think I'm happy with most of the stuff I posted. And cool, I will take a look at the Reddit thing. Matthew, any chance for another Pixelmon series? Again, I have no idea. Not on me. But I am open to it. So, okay, there we go. Hey, I caught up. Woo! All right. By the way, let's see. Juan, again, promise me you won't paint the 4GT, please. It will be painted. I can't not have it painted. So I don't know what to tell you about that one. I'm sorry, it's gonna have paint on it. Alex Barely Civil, seen guitars in a few of your songs. What do you mean explain that I have guitars? I mean, I played guitar a lot when I was in high school. That's why I have all the guitars. I don't play too much anymore, but I have some muscle memory. Let's see. Conflict Uprising. Tell us all a Minecraft joke. This is not against you, my dear friend, but I never hear Minecraft jokes. Enlighten us. I don't have any Minecraft jokes off the top of my head. I'm the worst when it comes to jokes. I feel like I really need to just have an arsenal of good jokes, but I don't, and it's a terrible tragedy. Yeah. Anyway, Edwin, been here for a while. I appreciate it. And my biggest fear, failure. I mean, it is, I suppose. If my entire life turned into a gigantic failure, that would be a bummer. There's nothing that I think about that like keeps me awake at night. That's a fear of mine. If I think, oh, what am I afraid of? Well, bullets. I'm afraid of bullets, I suppose. Those are bad. Well, if they're traveling fast and in your direction. I don't know. I'm afraid of people I like dying. But again, these aren't things that keep me awake. There's like, it's only if I'm trying to think of, oh, what would be bad? What would scare me? Otherwise, though, I don't have any prevalent, perpetual fears. Levi, what happened to Fortress Fury? In the last stream I did on this, I actually went into a detailed explanation, which I don't want to have to repeat for the people who have heard it. But basically, in the end, it's just the servers are sunsetting. So the game, it didn't turn into a big hit, and so it's not something that ended up being maintained, and that's pretty much where it's at. There's more to it than that, but you can always go back to the previous stream, which is an unlisted link, so I don't know how I would get to that. Yeah. Oh, you know what I should do is I should put these like streams into a playlist of all the unlisted videos, and I can link that below the stream, and that way you can access the previous ones, since they're unlisted, because there'd be no other way. Can I do that? I'll look into it after this is wrapped up. I'll see if I can do that. Let's see. Pie Manding, what if Land Shark makes an appearance at 10 million? Like a real life land shark? I don't want to actually kill a shark. I don't know how that would work. Or you want me to like dress up in that Katy Perry Super Bowl performance shark costume? I don't know if everyone would have been around long enough to get the joke. So, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, all of a sudden a bunch of things came in. By the way, guys, the sponsorship thing, which is the equivalent of subscribing on Twitch, that is a thing as well for anyone who is interested in that sort of thing. And I don't feel as bad talking about it here on YouTube because, well, obviously over on Twitch, I wasn't streaming very regularly, but on YouTube, even if I'm not like streaming, I still do 2 videos a day and all that stuff. So, it's like I'm still active. So that's why it's all good. But you get an icon in the chat, just like you would on Twitch. And if I ever go to subscriber or sponsor only chat mode, that is also a thing for any streams where there are lots of people. So it's kind of cool that that's a thing here on YouTube now. Jeremy Malmstead looked at the Mercedes SL, and I have to say in that instance, import beats muscle, but the 64 Mustang is still your top pick. I wanted to tell you last time I had to work. Thanks for reading. I've never driven a Mercedes SL, nor have I driven the 64 Mustang, so I couldn't give a comparison of the two. But I'm more of a fan of like the 10-year-old Mercedes SL63. I'm not as into the new ones, honestly. I think it was like nice and sharp and angular back 10 years ago, and now it's kind of just blobby. And I must not be the only one who finds that to be the case, because they sold way, way more of them back like 10 years ago. So, yeah. Anyway, but good luck on your car stuff, Jeremy. Master Reefs, I'm glad you like the Ferrari wrap. By the way, if any of you have not seen the new vlog that just went up today on the Jordan Marin channel, the vlogs and stuff channel, it's there for you. You can check it out. The irony of these back-to-back comments from Juan saying, by paint, I mean like ruining the stock 458. I do not plan on wrapping the Ford GT because I get to make it all custom from the factory to my liking. However, I would very much disagree with the whole ruining element, because I happen to quite enjoy it, which is why I did it. But I'm glad to hear you disagree. Bummer. Let's see. Machete Tigre. Have you considered playing more racing, driving, or vehicular combat type games? I don't know. Other than BeamNG, not so much. But if one comes into my realm of knowledge, then perhaps. But thank you for the contribution. Let's see. Rick Smith, appreciate the contribution. When are you going to stream on Twitch again? I have no plans to do so at the moment. So I wouldn't hold your breath. I guess I feel like watching here it's the same watching experience. The chat's a little bit different, but yeah, I just don't stream regularly enough for it to make sense at this point. Corey, let's see. You should try some racing sims like iRacing or R-Factor 2 instead of bad NASCAR games. I don't know what bad NASCAR games I've played. I'm not aware. Yeah, or you're talking about the Forza NASCAR expansion. That's like a small portion of Forza, by the way. But yeah, and one day I'd love to get a whole simulator rig built and do all that stuff. William Jordan, thanks for the contribution. What is your dream car? Previous owned, ordered, and soon to be ordered vehicles do not count. I believe I have answered Mercedes 300 SL before, but there it is again. Let's see. Sean, would you ever do another ultra modded survival with Zine? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't really contemplated what comes after Sky Factory, and you just hit a $17,000 jackpot at your local casino. If that is true, then wow. That's pretty crazy. Congratulations. Good God. I think the biggest thing that I have ever won in my life was a like $50 mini bike. Those things that were all the rage back 15 years ago. The little tiny, the things with the wheels that were like this big. Yeah. So, anywho, print. Why? Oh God, why do people have to go into the political stuff? Why do people have to go into the political stuff? I said earlier, I'm staying away from politics, and the shitty thing is that when I say I'm staying away from politics, people are gonna assume which side I am as to why I would not answer as opposed to answering, and yeah, I'm just as general. I'm staying away from expressing political opinions. Period. So that. Do not assume my side as being opposite of what yours is, because I feel like that's how it's going to go. Is that like if I don't answer something, you're going to assume that I'm assuming my stance is what you're going to assume is bad, which is not necessarily the case. And anyway, just we're staying away from politics is all. Let's see. Stephen Butcher. Jordan, I want to thank you for doing what you do. I started watching videos in high school. Well, I'm glad you enjoy. I am very glad that you enjoy. The true B-man. How low of a chance is it to be chosen to have a meetup with you and spend an entire day? I mean, I don't really do that. So, yeah. Probably pretty low, but I appreciate you watching my videos and stuff like that. You know? Yeah. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's see. John Black, Jardon, would you consider trying a new game like The Witcher, Mass Effect, Elder Scrolls, etc. For like a Let's Play? Probably not so much, because I like, other than the Minecraft series, I don't really do scripted single player campaign Let's Play kind of things, even if they're like non-linear, like some of those I assume are, having not played them. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'd try it just to play, but I'm also like the worst gaming channel in the world because I have like no time to ever actually just play games on my own time outside of videos and stuff. So yeah. But anyway, I appreciate the contribution. Paige, how are you doing in general? I'm doing pretty well. I feel like we all need to catch up at some time. I mean, let's see. I got my car wrapped, which is pretty exciting. That's pretty happy stuff right there. And then, I mean, the Ford GT is actually moving along to the next stage. That's pretty happy. It's not to say that all of my happiness stems from material possessions, but certain material possession related things can be exciting, That's all. Anywho. And then I otherwise, yeah, totally good. Exercising every day, which is good. Enjoying making YouTube videos and stuff, which is good. So yeah. Anyway, Jeremy, neither of I just love American engines. I only have a Jetta diesel. Oh, okay. That was a follow-up from the Mercedes versus the Mustang thing. Gotcha, dude. Gotcha. Anywho, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, the Ford GT is actually going to be the first American car that I will have owned, so it'll be the first American engine. So we'll see. That'll be my first experience. Let's see, Adam. Take my money, goddammit. Well, I appreciate it. You don't have to, but I guess what's done is done. JJ, appreciate the contribution. Juan, would you buy a Dodge Demon? I had actually, when I saw the Dodge Demon announced, I contemplated it. Like, what is it? 2.5 to 60 or something absolutely absurd. And the thing can actually apparently get on its back wheels. It can wheelie. It launches so hard. Yeah. So I contemplated it. I was like, I don't know, that could be pretty cool. But then I was thinking, well, either I'd have to sell the Fiat, but then that would defeat the purpose as to why I have the Fiat, because the Dodge Demon is not something nice and compact and something that like. The Dodge Demon would probably be worse to give to a valet than like a Ferrari or a McLaren, because the Ferrari or McLaren, it might be intimidating enough that if a valet person was going to joyride, they'd be like, maybe I'm not going to joyride this. That's probably not a good idea. I feel like with a Dodge Demon, though, it's right in that tier where they'd be like, holy crap, I know what this is. It's amazingly fast. I'm going to launch this and joyride it. So I feel like that would be even worse of a car to give to a valet person. And then also, it's not as compact, which means I'd have to worry about where to park it stuff. So then in that case, I'd have to not sell the Fiat. I'd have to park the Fiat on the street. And I also don't want to park the Fiat on the street because even though there's probably room for it, I also then would probably make it more difficult for someone else to find a parking space who has filled up their garage to capacity and can't park in their garage, so has to park on the street. So I guess I don't have too much sympathy for that, but I don't like to inconvenience people who have lived on my street longer than I have. Because before my house was built, it was an empty lot. And so there was parking in front of it, obviously. And so people who have lived here now have less spaces to park because my garage now exists at some of that stretch that used to be an empty lot where people could park on. So if I then start having to park on the street, then that impedes parking even more. And I don't know. Anyway, that's why I like to keep everything in the garage. Also for the sake of it getting dirty and all that stuff. But yeah, I thought about the Dodge Demon. I did. Let's see. Haha Potatoes, thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. I have not played it. A lot of people have said it's real fun. I just haven't had time because, like I said, I'm the worst gaming channel and don't have time to play games outside of making videos. Sorry. Whoops. Let's see. Oh, wait. Sorry. Oh, I skipped over a couple because of the scroll. Angel, what are your thoughts on Rocket League? Real fun. I played it quite a few times. I just haven't played it recently. I streamed it a few times too and made a couple videos on it. Juan, have you ever driven a Saline S7? I have not. You have a Saline S7. I would love to see videos of that on your channel if you have one. Let's see. Juan, again, Juan's just dropping questions all over. You know what I like more than Ford GT knowledge? Ford GT books, probably. Princess Sparklez. Hello again, Transy Gamer. Let's see. Started watching when I was down on my luck. After high school, prepping for grad school, and applications for physics. Congratulations, man. Hopefully you get into the place you want. Let's see. You say you don't have a big Twitch following, but you have the second most followers when Maya Night was going. I did. I know. But after Maya Night, the most people that's what they were interested in watching on Twitch for my channel. So when that ended, a lot of the people who were there were no longer interested in what was going on. And then also the fact that a lot of the people who were watching that series are still more dedicated on YouTube versus being Twitch users. They just came from YouTube over to Twitch, like when Maya Night was happening, but then YouTube was their main thing. So yeah, that's why. That's what's up. Use Neil Gonzalez. Mach 2.7 equals 2.7 times the speed of sound, FYI. Well, I know that. I was there. Did I miss like a previous thing, or is that just like you're randomly dropping knowledge on me? But yes, I'm aware that like Mach 1 is the speed of sound and multipliers and etc. Yeah. James Ewalls, you have an Audio Technica AT. It's a 2035, not a 2020. The 2020 is a USB mic, so you don't have a mixer with that, and it's a Line 6 UX2 is the audio interface. Let's see. Okay, wow, I just got to the bottom of the super chat. Okie dokie. Cool. I'm gonna look at Twitter for just a moment. What's your favorite color? That's a hard question. It's a very hard question. I love the rainbow. I would always say green when I was really young. So, but I don't know if that's still the case, but I would always say green. Let's see. Thank you, JJ, for the contribution. Do you play mobile games? I don't often play mobile games, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see. Juan, again. Oh, your dad works in sales at Ferrari in Atlanta, and I triggered him by wrapping my car. That's a bummer. I'm very happy with it. I'm sorry that your dad is not, but your dad doesn't own the car. Let's see. Ultra Noob. Ever consider going to voice acting? Not as like a profession. I'm not gonna like jump ship from YouTube and be like, all right, I'm a voice actor now. But when I've been offered like voice acting things before, I do enjoy it. I don't know if I'm the best voice actor, but I've done like the Happy Wheels series thing that Machinima did. I did the Minecraft story mode. Yeah, I enjoy it when I get the chance, but certainly not like, all right, goodbye YouTube, going off to a career in voice acting. But I don't think I could ever be a full-on body actor. I don't think I could do it. So voice acting would really be like my only way in. Anywho, let's see. Johnny spent $5 to tell people to stop asking questions that have already been answered. The problem is that people join like after the questions have been asked. So yeah, but I appreciate the contribution. I should have a frequently asked questions section under my description. Jordan, how many cars do you have and what are they? Thank you, Cam, for the contribution. I have the Fiat, I have the McLaren, I have the Ferrari. So 3. Bobfish Productions. Thanks for being around for so long. Okay, let's see what we got over on Twitter real quick now that I'm down to the bottom right there. How old are your headphones? I have been asked. Like 8 years old, I swear to God. They're really that old. Javier says, would you ever get a Rolls Royce? I don't think so. Probably not. Because with the opportunity cost of like what a Rolls Royce costs and what you could get otherwise is just like there's too many other way more exciting cars that you would be able to get. Also with a Rolls Royce, they plummet in value. So that's a car you lease. A Rolls Royce is not a car to buy because they tank so quickly. And also like in LA, you cannot go from point A to point B without seeing like 20 Rolls Royces. So it's basically like a Toyota Camry. You're like, okay, I mean, that person obviously does pretty well, or they just spent a lot on a lease. So cool that you have a Rolls Royce, but there's so many of them. It's just, it completely nullifies its like wow factor to me, at least where I live. Thanks, LA. I mean, even in LA, a lot of people don't even look twice at cars like a Pagani or LaFerrari. It's just like, oh, that's just another cool car over there that, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Whereas if you go to other places where supercars don't appear quite as much, it generates so much more attention. It's really interesting because I grew up in Santa Barbara, and Santa Barbara has real well-off areas, like Montecito in particular, like real well-off areas. But there are no fancy car dealerships in Santa Barbara. You have a Porsche dealership, but there's no Ferrari dealership. There's no Aston Martin. There's no Lamborghini. There's no Rolls Royce. There's no Bentley. It like doesn't exist there. And so if you want to own one, you'd have to like ship your car off for service. So you just don't see those cars very often. And so it'll get a lot more attention despite the fact that it's still a very well-off area just because there aren't that many around. Whereas in LA, it's just like, look, there goes another. Anywho, God dang it. Where am I at now? Okay, there we go. Because a lot more came up in Super Chat. All right, we've been going at this almost an hour and a half, so I'm going to probably just go through the rest of Super Chat, maybe do like a couple more Twitter questions, and then that'll be that because my voice is going to give out. Juan, are you going to New York Auto Show? I am not, because I don't like to travel. Sandin, did you actually text the Ferrari salesman? I did. I texted him sorry with an image of the car, and he responded, and then he was like, come by the dealership and let me actually see it, and I did. And he didn't mind it too much. He thought it was cool. He said that if I do want to resell it, probably going to have to undo it because people, at least when it comes to Ferraris, think that if it was wrapped, it was probably wrecked. So they're like, why did you wrap it? What's wrong with it? Is it destroyed under there? And it's like, no, I just like it. It's cool. But yeah, he said it'd probably have to be undone to sell, which I figured. So anyway, let's see. True B-Man. Random question referring to the videos. Did you remember to have pants or green shorts on? Did I remember? So if I sometimes forget to put on pants. Everyone's had those dreams before where they dream that they went to school and weren't wearing pants. We've all done that. Had the dream at least. I am wearing pants right now. I am. Ever meet new people as friends outside of YouTube? Rarely, but on occasion. Yeah, most of the people I do know are through YouTube, though, for sure. Orange Penguin, what inspired your love in cars? It was inherent. Also, I just keep overhearing the freaking... I swear to God, it's so frustrating. The house next to me has just turned into a weekly Airbnb for parties, and I just want it to stop. I really want it to stop. Just please stop. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's a new party every weekend, and it's a different group of people. It's Airbnb. Freaking so annoying. It started like a month ago, and it's just God damn it. God damn it. And they block up the street so that it's like one lane and sorry, ranting. Anyway, Roxton, would you ever buy an Aston Martin? I thought about doing a Vanquish, actually, the new Vanquish, but then I didn't. But I really like the look of them. So I don't know. Maybe at some point I wouldn't rule it out. Let's see. Sam Handwich, I don't want you to leave. But do you plan on leaving YouTube? I do not plan on leaving YouTube. Okay, so I mean, say I won the lottery or something. If I won like the Mega Millions $100 million jackpot, the completely honest answer is I probably wouldn't post twice a day, but I definitely wouldn't quit YouTube. I would still keep at that. I would probably, the style of content might change slightly. As I explored opportunities given the recent lottery win. But I would definitely still be doing it. In fact, I think it would only make videos even cooler. Because it'd be like, all right, sweet. I'm going to allocate $1 million budget this year to making cool videos. Let's do it. Yeah. So that's what I'd probably do is I'd make like some cool shit if I won $100 million in the lottery or something like that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Oh God, there's so many things. So many freaking things. Jeremy, appreciate the love on the Chrome Blue. Do you prefer automatics or manuals? So this is going to be a funny story, and everyone's going to be like, you're not a car enthusiast, you goddamn poser. I've never owned a manual car. I've never owned a manual. I haven't even had the opportunity to where a car that I liked was even available in a manual. It's not like I've even had, except the Fiat. The Fiat, I could have gotten in a manual, but given that that is mostly used to go through LA traffic, I was like, I'm going to just go automatic because a manual is fun when you actually get to go out and like enjoy yourself on an open road. Just going through traffic is no. But you say you like manual because of fuel economy, which I don't think is, you get way lower gas mileage. Like when I use I always use the paddles in the Ferrari and the McLaren. And I can tell you the gas mileage is way lower because of it. If I switch the McLaren or Ferrari to auto mode, the gas mileage is far better because it switches at way lower revs, which consumes less gas. So yeah. But I do enjoy using the paddles. But again, I've never owned a stick shift car. I haven't, other than the Fiat. There was not even an opportunity to do so. And but again, I would not want to have a stick shift for driving in traffic. No, thank you. I'm good. Because then the thing is, like, if I was going to an open road area, I wouldn't take the Fiat, so it would nullify having the manual. So anyway, let's see. Do you like economy cars like the Focus ST or only supercars? I've heard really great things about the Focus ST, honestly. Really great things. But, I mean, if I am going to go and, like, drive somewhere for the sake of driving, I would prefer to have, yes, the other supercars. Yeah, that's all. Let's see. Use Neil Gonzalez. Thanks for the contribution. Just dropping knowledge about Mach Speed. And what car should I get? I'm stuck between Infiniti Coupe Q60 or Sedan Q50. I don't know enough about those, honestly, so I couldn't really tell you. You would be much better off talking to the sales rep at the dealership than me, because I don't know Infinitis very well, really. And what was your dream car? Mercedes 300 SL. But I appreciate the contribution. Sorry, I can't be more help. Randomized Jacob again. Mr. You play games like Gmod and Golf Game, and yeah, I'll try to do those at some point again. I know it's been way too long since I've done Gmod or any of those things, and I should look into trying to do that. I just haven't been invited to like a group recording in quite some time, and I'm really bad at actually being the one to organize it. But yeah, faux show. And I know I don't need to do the full racing setup to play racing games, but that's what excites me the most. Let's see. Bayard White, thanks for the contribution. What type of game system do you use? A PC? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you other than that. Let's see. Cruz Azul, prove that you have pants on. There you go. I do wear the pants in this family. Okay, Orange Penguin. Could you get a Bugatti Veyron? I could not afford a Bugatti Veyron. And if I could afford a car purchase that pricey, I don't know that I would get a Veyron, actually. I'd probably get something else. Let's see. Jeremy, 45 per gallon in my diesel and 30 in my P. Oh, well, those are different cars, though. If you could switch back and forth between an auto mode and a manual mode, in the same car, you would find that your manual mode is far less fuel efficient. It's really bad. So, yeah, gotcha. But yes, different cars get different gas mileage, obviously. And Princess Sparkles, love me, Jordan. I'm returning the love. Okay, there we go. I made it through Super Chat. Like a couple more Twitter questions, and then that's it, because my voice is giving out. Alrighty then. Let's see. Trying to find a good one. Jardon, stop talking about car shit. Sorry, I'm just answering the questions that people are asking me. My bad. We got another Where's Mionite in there, which is always pretty good. Where did you get the idea of your username? It was a dare from CNanners. Let's see. Would you ever go on a tour of sorts? That was actually asked last time. And I explored it, but it's just a big time commitment and not really my priority at the moment. Any new series coming soon? Minecraft series, not really planned. No, nothing. Let's see. Let's see. If Tom Tucker, Sonia, Waggy Reed, would you do Mionite again? Sure. If everyone else agreed, I would do Mionite. That's what I've said. the entire time. What else? Your Twitter banner has your gray Ferrari in it, and it bothers me. That is not a Ferrari; it's a McLaren, and it is still gray. Let's see. Why not sell the Fiat to have a spot for the GT? Because A, finances, and B, the Fiat, I would then have a McLaren, a Ferrari, and a Ford GT. What am I going to take to go anywhere that is not supercar friendly? That sounds like a bad idea. The Fiat exists for a reason. Let's see. Okay, and now, all right. Sorry, okay. I'm just gonna finish up super chat and then be good to go. I'm getting bounced around all over the place. Chocolate Quill, appreciate the contribution. What do you like to do in terms of hobbies, other than car related stuff and skating? I'm burping again. Sorry. Ugh. Music, I guess. That's about it. That's like asking, what do you like to do for your hobbies other than your hobbies? Well, not really much. Work is a hobby because I'm working on YouTube videos is fun. So Ultra Noob, since you're finishing up soon, can you do Russian accent for the rest of the stream? I do not know. I'll try. Let me see if I go quick. Juan, do you like mechanics? It's fun just asking. Like, do I like the people who are mechanics? I mean, yeah, I'm sure that there are some mechanics who are dicks. Just like there are some people who are dicks. But if it's a nice mechanic, I like them. And sorry, I'm trying to stay Russian accent. Luke Stocking, have you ever gone flying in like a smaller plane like a Cessna or a Piper or something like that? I have not been in one of those. All right, there we go. Woo, that's that. I think we're gonna end the stream there. If any more super chat things come in after the stream closes, I apologize, but still thank you in advance for the contribution. Weird way. Most people can't pronounce my name right. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. Okay, but thanks for tuning in. If you want to check out like the vlog that was uploaded earlier today and stuff like that, you can do that. That's a thing. And then there was also an animation and a Reddit video that went up earlier, and just stuff. And I appreciate the Twitter questions again. Sorry, just get bogged down with the trying to catch up with the super chat. It's not my intent, but people do it anyway. I tell people, look, I'm good. I don't need the cash. I'm doing good. I'm doing just fine, but they do it anyway. I swear. I'm like, look, I don't need it. I don't need the money. And then they do it anyway. I'm like, how dare you? But so sorry. But that's the deal. Twitter peeps. I appreciate the Twitter questions, so you can follow me there as well if you want. It's CaptainSparklez. So, yep. Anyway, cool. Thanks everyone for coming. It's been fun, and you can actually like rewind the stream if you missed any of it and you do want to catch up on stuff. So, yeah, that's all. I'll see you next time.